So, um, yeah, this is kind of like a new video for me. This isn't like, so I'm not like in my usual like peppy self, because this really isn't like a peppy time. This isn't like, a joyful time, because we haven't lost a star. We've lost a legend. We've lost like a god, because that's what he was seen as, and if you didn't read the title, Stan Lee passed away at the age of 95. I don't know if he had like a disease or anything, or if he just died of old age. I wouldn't be surprised if he was just old age and that's how he couldn't really like live on anymore. But so I just wanted to sort of mention that, because, make a video about this, since, if you know my channel, I'm a huge comic book fan, I'm a huge Marvel fan, and, yeah, like, he was just, just to talk about him. I didn't know him personally, I didn't know him at all. I did have the opportunity to meet him, because on my birthday I was going to go to Comic-Con, but, I kind of missed him, when he came out, so I'm really gutted about that now. But, he wasn't just like, an average comic book artist. He wasn't like, just like, someone that would just be like behind a pen all the time and probably just draw all the time. He was always, like the front man. He was always like the big picture. And, even when he did stuff, like, he was always up for like a laugh. He was always up for like, stuff like, being in like, cameos and stuff, like, with like most of the Marvel movies and, X-Men, Spider-Man. He was always up for that. And not just like movies, but also like TV shows, video games, and even like in like, that Kevin Smith movie. I mean, that was a fantastic cameo. But it's quite, he was just, a wonderful person. There was just, everyone who ever met him had nothing but nice things to say about him. He was a very intelligent man, a very funny man, and, he just seemed like, a great guy. That's basically what he was. Like, there's this, like, Comic-Con panel where, he's, like, taking a selfie of, like, himself with everyone who is in there. And, like, that's, like, a man who's in his 90s, and he can still use a selfie stick. But that's sort of like, who he was. He wasn't, boring. He was never boring. I'm not gonna, like, act like his work was, like, perfection in any way. I'm not gonna act like that every single one of his decisions was fantastic. But people saw him as a man that, had an idea. He never really came out with a bad idea. He never really came, even if that idea had, bad potentials or something and didn't really sell well, he never really had, like, a bad idea. He was always just, he was always just a figure. Like, he was the face of the company. He was, like, the guy that just spewed it out. Like, people say that, the people that, he didn't create Captain America, and even though he was part of that, there were other people that also created Captain America, and those people got angry at him for not getting credit, and he kept on giving them credit. He said, I'm not, like, the only person who created Captain America. These guys also helped me out as well. And, that's just what he was. He was never, like, taking credit. He was never, like one of those stuck-up businessmen who, being like, I'm the boss, I'm the one that does things, that's me. He was never like that. He was always, just a charming figure. He was always, just, a man that just sport out at you. But that's why people loved him. That's why he grew such a fan base of, comic books everywhere. And that's why they saw him as a god. Because he created something. He brought them into, like, a new world. That's why they brought him into, the Marvel universe. Like, he made people believe that you could be, a soldier, the best soldier ever. You can be a billionaire genius who creates an iron suit. You can be, an immortal, mutant. You can be, a war crawler, a spewing webs. You can be a god. Like, that's just kind of like the person who he was. And people saw him as that. And it feels, dishonourable to not see him like that, but to also see him as, human. He was a marvellous person, no pun intended. He was a fantastic, comic book artist, and he created such a fan base from, like, something that he didn't think he deserved. But in my opinion, I think he deserved every bit of it. So to Stan Lee, I know you're not watching this anymore, but in the heart, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for, creating a world that, people can escape to. Thank you for making people feel wanted. Thank you for, creating, such a big universe that everyone and anyone can be a part of. That's who you are, and that's what you will be remembered by. But you would also be remembered as a person, as a human, because that's what you were. People see you as a god. That's kind of what you are. And, like, you can be partying up there and all, I know, like, you can be partying with, like, God and Jesus, because that's what you are. You created something. You created a universe. That's what a God does. And that's what you are. But you're also human at the same time, and that's something that I think you really took into the heart. So for the last time, thank you for everything that you've done.